Greetings, RSV here. Today I'd like to talk about things you should do or know before Retem, and things you should wait to do after Retem drops. Firstly, I'll get the boring one out of the way. Make sure you finish the Alio storyline. This one is important as the Alio story needs to be complete to enter Retem in the first place. You will also require a small amount of BP to complete the story if you haven't already, though in this case base game units may suffice if you have them. If you need assistance with equipment, link to my equipment guide is in the top right hand corner. Next up, we have the current limited quests and campaigns that are on. These are a great source of SG, resources, and Meseta. It is a good idea to do as many as you possibly can, although I believe that Monotype and Dolomite might be made obsolete in the Retem patch. I would still recommend gathering as much resources as possible before Retem. Being clotheslined by your resources while you are running around at the speed of sound in Retem sounds like a sandy nightmare. Next up, we have getting classes you want to play to level 20. This will not only give you an excuse to gather more resources, but will also ensure that when Retem drops you won't need to worry about any barriers. I will note, however, it is possible that Retem will have a BP requirement to enter. I'd assume if you can enter Mining Base, you are probably good to go. But if you are concerned about this, aiming for the purple battle tier entry requirement is a safer bet. Gather an EX cubes. Bit of a drag, I know, as this just constitutes over-leveling, but NX cubes will be unobtainable outside the mission pass once Retem drops, until you max out. I actually realize I have exactly one EX cube. Well, I know what I'm doing for the next 2 weeks. But what are the best ways to farm these, since they are just leveling rewards? Urgent quests, daily quests, and battle tier. You can also hard grind PSE burst, but doing so is not worth your time outside the daily quest. Mining Base in particular gives a lot of XP, but it is high risk because people don't seem to know exactly what to do in this urgent quest. I'll be doing a video on it later this week, but here are some quick tips. 1. Tag as many enemies as you can. 2. Fight enemies, especially bosses, away from towers. 3. One person per boss while the boss isn't the only enemy on the map. If the boss is a Ragus and it is at a tower, however, this is an exception, but not a hard one. Otherwise, after I do some more research, I will be posting an in-depth video on the current mining base, as I feel like it will still be relevant come Retem. It may even get a new difficulty, or a reskin. Grind enhancing fodder and augments. I think just about everyone saw this one coming. It goes back to my second thing to do. The more material you have to work with, the easier it will be to progress through Retem. I recommend trigger sharing with 3 friends here. This will make the process a lot more enjoyable. Each trigger will be worth more. Otherwise, for augment grinding, you may be forced to grind Nextera in the Resolve Forest, as you can get both Datal Soul and Next Soul from Resolve Forest fairly easily. Another thing to do is farm Gigantic if you don't have a stockpile of Gigas augments. However, this is up to you ultimately. The mission pass has a lot of good material on it as well. You can obtain a mission pass for 100 SG, which you can obtain fairly easily from base game, as each week you can get a total of 140 SG from the Pso2 Casino and Buffster Metal Exchange vendors. Buffster Quest can give you 10 SG for just doing 2 free Buffster Quests. They take about 10 minutes each to complete, but make sure you bring at least one other person with you, or the Buffster Quest will not reward any medals in the end. They are also decent for base game XP, so you can bring a friend along to help them level in base game as well, or just a random from the lobby who is new to the game and needs help. Although, on the note of Buffster Quests, I should note that they can be quite mind-numbing to do. I do not recommend going for the full 100 SG from the Buffster Quests, as, although you can get the 100 SG from the Buffster Quest, it gets significantly harder to get enough Buster medals after the first 50 SG. To get the full 100 SG from Buster Quests, assuming that there is no wait time in between quests, it would take you a total of 5 hours and 30 minutes, assuming each Buster Quest is completed in about 10 minutes. More often, Buster Quests take between 10 and 12 minutes to complete. The Pso2 Casino is a fun place to hang out with friends as well, as more coins can be earned with more people. You can get more passes if you need them by doing certain daily quests in base game, although the Pso2 Casino is full of games of chance. You do not invest any outside resource into it, other than the casino coins and time. So, just make sure you don't accidentally spend hours there having fun and enjoy yourself. Otherwise, you can get SG from daily logins and titles in the base game as well. So, what don't I want to do before Retem drops? Here is a list of things to avoid doing if you can help it until Retem hits. Getting the 3rd star in cocoons. If speedrunning is your thing and you want to do it, go for it. Otherwise, if you want to get the 3rd star for all cocoons, I suggest waiting for Retem in case there is a title reward for it, so you don't have to do it twice once Retem drops. Try avoid using your resources as much as is possible. Ultimately, you may end up making a 4-star for a class at some point down the track anyway, so it is worth to make the weapons if you intend to level up a class at some point in the future. However, there will be better augments in the future that make this easier and cheaper pursuit. Last but not least, burnout. Make sure you don't overplay and pace yourself. Otherwise, this has been my video. I hope you now have something to do while you wait, and if you don't, well, you are completely prepared for Retem. Remember to like and subscribe. I have been RSV, and I hope to see you next time.